This is only meant to be used ethically. I want to be very, very clear about that. Do not use this to try to bypass somebody else's account. This isn't meant to be a hacking tutorial. This is how to recover your own account in Debian. Hey guys, how's it going? Hope everybody's doing well out there today. In this video, I want to show you the process that I went through to recover an account to which I lost the password in Debian 11. But first, a quick message from today's video sponsor. YourCDKey.com is a great place to get Windows 10 keys at incredibly low prices. So here we are on the Microsoft Windows 10 Pro page, and right here you can see the current price is $20.05. But if you use the coupon code that's in the description down below, you'll get it even cheaper. So I'm going to go ahead and paste that in here and click apply. And now our new total for Windows 10 Pro is about $15. Now I have the option to go ahead and view the keys right here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Then I'll click on get the key. And then I'm going to come over here, and right there you can change the product key. So go ahead and click on that. I'm going to go ahead and change the product key right here. So I've entered my key and I'll click next. Then I'll click on activate. And here we can see that Windows is activated. Next, what we want to do is go ahead and validate the key installation. And right there, you can see the Windows 10 Professional Edition is permanently activated. So head on over to YourCDKey.com to get your next Windows 10 Pro key at ridiculously low prices. So if you caught one of my last videos where I showed the unboxing process and initial setup process of the new Zima board that the folks over at Icewhale sent me, I went through the process of kind of setting it up and getting used to it, that sort of thing. And once I was logged in, I didn't want to keep the same user password. It's just bad practice to keep passwords from built-in accounts. It's always a good idea to change your password to something else. So I went ahead and did that with the built-in Casa OS account and then logged out and logged in. Let me rephrase that. I tried to log in and I wasn't able to. It said that the password was incorrect. So that was frustrating, and I was like, crap, I don't want to have to do a fresh install of something else. This is already built. It's already customized the way they had intended it to be customized. I'm sure I will eventually install something else, but I want to keep using it the way they intended it to be used, at least for a little while I'm kind of getting an idea of what's going on with this device. So, like I said, I want to show you the process that I went through in order to regain access to the account to which the password no longer worked. So let's jump over to my desktop and take a look at what I did. So here we can see I'm on my desktop. We can see that I'm using Tiny Pilot to access the Zima board because the Zima board is in a different room from where I am and I don't have direct access to it. So if I type in my typical password here, that didn't work. Please try again. Okay, so I don't have access to this account using this password. So what I want to do is actually go ahead and reboot the system. I'm going to go ahead and click on, you know what, before I do that, I'm going to make this full screen so that it'll be easier for you guys to see kind of what's going on here. There we go. That should be better. So I'm going to go ahead and do a restart. And then we'll say restart. And then while this is doing its thing, when it's going through its reboot process, there's a thing that we're going to do here that I'll show you that will make things a little bit easier. So I'm going to just start pressing down on my keyboard, just repeatedly pressing the down button. There we go. So I'm going to go to Advanced Options for Debian Linux here. So I'm going to go click Enter. Then we're going to go to the second option in my case for the most current version, but into recovery mode for that version, and press Enter again. Then it's going to go through this kind of boot up process, and then we should be taken to a screen where it's going to show us some stuff. We're going to press enter just to kind of make it fail here in just a second. There it goes. It's thinking. And then once we get to this point, at least for me and my setup, if I press enter right now, there we go. Login is incorrect. Well, no kidding. So I'm going to give a root password for maintenance. So I'm just going to type in a password and press enter. So now I'm logged in as root at Casa OS here. So the next thing we actually want to do is change directories into /etc and press enter. And then we're going to do an ls, and then we'll do -a just in case and press enter. So there are two files in this screen that we're going to take a look at. The first one is PASSWD, and then there is also Shadow. We're going to take a look at both of those files. So let's do nano. PASSWD and hit enter. Okay, so this is where our kind of where our accounts are stored. And basically at the top, you can see that there is root, and then there's, root x00, root, bin, bash, whatever. Okay, so what we want to do is actually look down here at the bottom. If we scroll nearly all the way to the bottom, we can see that there's an account called Casa OS right there. So it's Casa OS X 1000, 1000, Casa OS, whatever, right? So that X, let's get over to there with my little cursor here. That X right there tells this system that the password for this account is stored somewhere else. So what I want to do, and just to show you where that's stored, what I want to do is actually press Control X. And then I want to do, let's do an ls-a again, just so we can see everything in that folder. And in this case, that X tells us that the password is stored in the shadow file. So let's do a nano shadow, like so, and press enter. And right here we can see that root, it says root, colon, and then a bunch of gibberish, and then colon 19034, colon 0, colon 9, whatever, right? So that is the root setup for the system here. What we want to take a look at down here is this Casa OS at the very, very bottom. Now that is an encrypted password that was set up. That's the password I can't remember. However, I don't have any way to decrypt this password. So what do? Well, what we're actually going to do, and I just showed this file just to show where this stuff is located and kind of what you're looking at here. What we're actually going to do is go back to that PASSWD file. So we're going to do Control X, and then we're just going to press up on our keyboard a couple of times, 3 times maybe. There we go. So we're going to do nano password, like so, and then we're going to go all the way back down to the bottom of the page until we get to that Casa OS line. Right there. Oops. Like that. So now we've deleted that X. Basically what that is doing is it is deleting the need for a password on that account. So if I press Control O to save and then enter, and then I can do Control X like so. And now we're back at our terminal window of root at Casa OS in the etc folder. So what I'll do next, I'm going to type in exit and press enter. So now it should go ahead and reboot the system. Once it's rebooted, it's going to take us back to our login screen where we've got the option to click Casa OS, the user account. So now I can just press enter. And now I'm in my account. So at this point, we're logged in. We don't need a password. What we can do, of course, at that point, let's actually come up to here and we're going to go to settings. And then we're going to go ahead and click on unlock. And then what we're going to do is click on the password. So the current password, there isn't one, right? So if I try to just bypass that and type in a password here, we can't. There's no way to change the password here. So here's what we're going to do instead. We're going to cancel. I apologize if the audio keeps changing. I've got a heater on back here that's helping keep this place a little warmer. So I'm going to click cancel, like so. And what I want to do here is actually add a user, like so. And what I want to do is actually make this user an administrator. Now you don't have to, that's just what I'm going to do. And I'm going to say DB Tech. That'll be the full name and the username. And then I'm going to come down here to set a password now. So now I've gone ahead and added a new administrative user. I've given it a username and I've set a password. So what I can do then is click up here on add, like so. Okay, so now I have a Casa OS account and a DB Tech account, both of which should be administrators. So what I want to do next is type in, I'm going to go to the terminal, bring this more towards the middle of the screen here, like so. So what I want to do is, I want to do a CD space slash etc, like so. And then I want to do a nano shadow. Oops, exit. Forgot to do sudo nano shadow. Okay, so what we're going to do now is, again, we're going to scroll all the way to the end. I'm going to press Control End right there. So here I've got my Casa OS username with that encrypted password. Below that, I've got the DB Tech username with an encrypted password. So let's actually just make this full screen. Can I do that with this? Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is highlight this with my mouse. I'm gonna go all the way to the end, like so, and I'm gonna right click and do copy. And then I'm gonna go up to this line right here. And I'm just gonna delete whatever this password was. This whole line after the username is gonna get deleted. Okay, so now that we have that, I can just right click and paste. So now you can see that my Casa OS and my DB Tech account, or usernames, accounts, whatever, both have the exact same password. So this isn't terribly great for security, but what it will allow us to do is press Control O and enter to save, and then Control X to exit. And then we're gonna do a reboot. Oops, if I could type reboot correctly.
Hey pal, you just blowing from stupid town?
So I actually rebooted before I meant to. There's one more step that I forgot to do. So we're gonna fix that. So we're gonna press our Windows key here. I'm gonna type in terminal. Okay, so what we wanna do is cd space / etc and hit enter. And then I wanna do, sudo nano, and then password. And then we're gonna go back to the end of the file here. And we're gonna go back to this Casa OS line right here. We're gonna put an X back in between those two colons, press Control O and enter, and Control X. And hit reboot and enter. So now this time when we reboot and it brings us back to our login screen, we should have the option to choose between Casa OS and DB Tech. Either of these will get us logged in as an administrator, but both of them should now have a password that I should be able to log in and change as I see fit. So we're gonna go ahead and get logged in here just to make sure that I haven't been blowing smoke up your butt this whole time. So let's make sure this works. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit enter on Casa OS there. Now I'm asked for a password, so that's good. Let's enter the password that I copied from the other account. And now we're logged in. So that's how easy it is to get back into an account for an account that you've lost the password to or whatever. This is only meant to be used ethically. I want to be very, very clear about that. Do not use this to try to bypass somebody else's account. This isn't meant to be a hacking tutorial. This is how to recover your own account in Debian. So guys, there you go. There's how to recover an account in Debian if you've forgotten the password to that account. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, do me a favor, give the video a thumbs up. Really does help me out quite a bit more than you may actually realize. But with all of that said, I am going to go ahead and wrap this up. So as always, thanks for your time. I always appreciate your support, and I'll talk to you in the next video.